Let's imagine a country where there's no spontaneous shopping, no advertisements, and no private businesses deciding what to sell. Instead, everything is run like a single, giant, meticulously planned factory. This is the essence of a command economy, also known as a planned economy or centrally planned economy. How a command economy allocates resources. Intuitively, imagine a grand planner sitting in a massive control room, overseeing the entire nation's economic activity. This grand planner, which could be a single dictator, a ruling committee, or a powerful government agency, has to answer the three fundamental economic questions. 1. What to produce. The grand planner decides. They don't look at dollar votes from consumers. Instead, they decide based on what they believe the country needs. This might be a 5-year plan to build more steel factories, or a directive to ensure every family gets a certain amount of bread, or a focus on military production. Intuition. Think of a large family where the parents decide what food to buy, what clothes everyone needs, and what chores need doing, all based on a central idea of what's best for the family unit. 2. How to produce. The grand planner also dictates this. They'll tell specific factories how much of a product to make, what raw materials to use, and often even what production methods to employ. They might assign certain workers to certain tasks. Intuition. Imagine a very strict school. The principal decides not only what subjects are taught, but also which teacher teaches which class, and exactly how many textbooks each student will receive. There's little room for individual teachers or students to make their own choices about how to learn or teach. 3. For whom to produce. The grand planner determines how the produced goods and services are distributed. This isn't based on who can pay the most, but often on principles of equity, need, or loyalty to the state. Everyone might get a basic allowance of necessities, or certain professions might be prioritized for specific goods. Intuition. Think of a wartime economy, where ration coupons are issued, and the government decides who gets how much of essential goods like food, fuel, or clothing, based on perceived need or contribution to the war effort. In essence, resource allocation in a command economy is a top-down, centralized process. The grand planner tries to anticipate all needs, gather all information, and issue commands to ensure resources are used to achieve the state's economic goals. The invisible hand of the market is replaced by the visible, often heavy, hand of government planning. Features of a command economy. Here are the key characteristics of a command economy. 1. Centralized economic planning. The defining feature. A central government body or planning agency makes all major economic decisions, setting production targets, allocating resources, and often determining prices and wages. These plans are often multi-year, e.g. 5-year plans. 2. State ownership of means of production. Most, if not all, industries, land and resources are owned and controlled by the government. Private ownership of large businesses is typically limited or non-existent. 3. Emphasis on social welfare collective goals. The primary aim is often to achieve specific social or national goals, such as industrialization, full employment, reduction of inequality, or military strength, rather than individual profit maximization. 4. Limited consumer choice. Because production is planned from the top down, consumer preferences have less influence. There are fewer varieties of goods, and consumers might face shortages or surpluses of certain items. 5. No or limited competition. Since the state often operates as a monopoly in most sectors, there is little to no competition among producers. This can lead to a lack of innovation and efficiency. 6. Government control over prices and wages. Prices for goods and services, as well as wages for workers, are set by the government, not by supply and demand. This is often done to ensure affordability or to direct resources. 7. Low unemployment potentially. The government can theoretically guarantee employment for all citizens, as it controls all jobs. However, this often comes at the cost of hidden unemployment, people who are employed but not productively contributing, or underemployment. 8. Lack of incentives for innovation and efficiency. Without the profit motive or the pressure of competition, individuals and firms may have less incentive to innovate, improve quality, or operate efficiently. This can lead to stagnation and waste. 9. Bureaucracy and inflexibility. Central planning requires a vast bureaucracy, which can be slow, inefficient, and unresponsive to changing conditions or individual needs. Plans can be rigid and difficult to adjust. Historical examples of largely command economies include the Soviet Union, Cuba, and North Korea. While no country today operates as a pure command economy, some retain significant elements of central planning and state control.